All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. This is part two, and my special guest for part two is Representative Jack Ladyman. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, he is from the Arkansas House of Representatives, and we're going to talk about, I'm not going to say his campaign necessarily because he's running unopposed for this election, but we're going to talk about some of his duties and some of the upcoming things that we can look forward to concerning the state of Arkansas. But before we get into that, many of you may not know Mr. Ladyman, so I would love for him to please give us some background information on himself and tell us a little bit more about what you also have done since you've been in this position.
Okay. Well, I grew up in Arkansas. Grew up on a cotton farm in Clay County. Attended Williams Baptist College in Walnut Ridge and the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville, where I got a mechanical engineering degree. I've always been an Arkansan. I've traveled a lot. Some of the things, I'm an engineer by trade. Worked for a major company for 29 years. I've worked in 46 states and 6 foreign countries, so I've been around. And I may get off the subject here, but I can't help it. But because when I leave Arkansas and see the world, or at least the United States, I'm amazed at what we have here, the resources that we have in the state of Arkansas. And I am confused about why we are not better at a lot of the things, such as income and other things. Why aren't we higher than other states? One of my campaign slogans when I ran, I'm in my second session now, and I'll be going into my third term. But one of the campaign slogans that I used is I want to move Arkansas from the bottom 10 to the top 10 in as many categories as possible. And I think we should be able to do that because we have the resources. I'm an energy guy. I work for an energy company. I still work at wind farms throughout the United States. Energy, we have a lot of energy resources, excuse me, in Arkansas. Why aren't we a leader in that? Why aren't we in the top 10? We should be. Other things, education, we have the natural resources that we have, lakes and rivers and agriculture. We should be in the top 10. Again, I got off subject. I apologize for that. But
those are things that are important to us in Arkansas. If there's a way to cut costs somewhere, I'm sure the residents will greatly appreciate it. However, cutting costs versus being detrimental to the environment, I know you all have to look into all those type of factors as well. Yes.
The primary thing is to service, to serve the people. Serve the needs of the people, and to protect the people, the safety of the people. Education is another key thing. But we have to consider all people. We have to consider taxpayers. They need to be treated fairly as well. But we cannot cut needed services either. We must do that. We must be efficient. We must spend the people's money wisely. We must do that. But we must also meet the needs. But my background primarily is in business. I've worked for large companies. My sons and I, we have 2 businesses here in Jonesboro. I have 3 sons. All of them live in Jonesboro. So I know small business and large business. I was a mayor for 6 years up in northwest Arkansas. I was on the city council of Elkins up there on the edge of Fayetteville. So I've been in government for a while now. So I've had a lot of experience in my lifetime, and I want to use that to improve the lives of people in Arkansas.
All right. And I just want to remind everyone that KLAK does not support or endorse any particular candidate. No compensation was given for this interview. This is strictly to provide information so that when you do go to the polls, you make an informed decision on who best represents your views and ideals. But since Mr. Ladyman is running unopposed, we still want you to be informed on what he stands on so that you can vote for him if that's your choice. So we just want everyone to be informed on who's on the ballot and what they're running for, and that way you can make your decision from there. Okay, so tell us some more about some of the committees that you serve on, and what are some things that we as Arkansans can look forward to?
Well, I currently serve on public health and labor, which is kind of my background.
Okay.
I serve on the energy committee and the budget committee, and I serve on state agencies where I'm co-chair of that committee. I'm also an alternate on the council, ALC, and I'm an alternate on the executive committee of ALC.
And what does ALC stand for?
That's the Arkansas Legislative Council, which basically that's the group, the committee that makes decisions when we're out of session. So it's a very strong committee. I think we as public servants should try to build people up. We should try to give people confidence, and so we need to put forward things that build people up,
Okay.
and give them encouragement to go out and to try to do better. I was when I was in Northwest Arkansas, when I was the mayor up there, I was on the executive committee of the Northwest Arkansas Regional Planning Commission, and as you know, Northwest Arkansas is one of the best economic areas in the state. So I was exposed to that for a number of years. I think we can do similar things here in Northeast Arkansas.
Okay.
We have to work regionally. We have to work, the cities have to work together, the counties have to work together. But I see no reason in the world why we can't do some of the things that Northwest Arkansas has done. And we have done some of those things. So, I would like to help people do better. That's my goal. When I was mayor, I was also on the executive committee of the Arkansas Municipal League for second-class cities.
Okay.
So I got to know a lot of small town mayors throughout the state and what they struggle with. In our cities, I represent Northwest Craighead County, okay, which is north of Johnson, west of Wood Springs, and it includes Bono, Cache, and Egypt, and a big part of Jonesboro. So I know those mayors very well. I know the other mayors in the county. I try to go to their meetings all the time because I know the things that they struggle with.
Okay.
And I know that they need help from the state to do that. And that's one of the things that I try to do. Because, the slogan of the Municipal League is strong cities makes a strong state.
Okay.
And I totally believe that. So we need to help the cities, we need to help the counties to do better, to serve the people. And they need to be efficient. One of the bills that I ran, I think it's my biggest accomplishment since I've been in the House the last 4 years. I was the primary sponsor on the bill that put the constitutional amendment out to give county executives 4-year terms instead of 2-year terms.
Okay.
Why is that important? I think it's important because it makes government more efficient. It also gives our county executives throughout the state more time to develop their programs, their leadership, their programs. And I think we will see improvements in all 75 counties from that amendment.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Again, you're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We're speaking with Representative Jack Ladyman from the Arkansas House of Representatives. He is on the ballot, even though he's running unopposed. You can still make a choice if you want to vote for him. I mean, all votes are, I'm sure, welcome. KLEK cannot tell you who to vote for, but we do encourage everyone to go out and vote starting October 22nd, which is early voting, up to November 6th, which is regular voting. Excuse me. I did want to go back to, you mentioned how Northwest Arkansas is really rich and thriving when it comes to economic development and other areas, and how you want to see Craighead County, or the area especially that you represent, thrive in the same way. As we know, in this part of the state, it's more rural, a lot of farming. And so what are some ways that you would like to, or that you hope to implement some of those initiatives, infrastructures? I don't know what the right word to use here.
Very good question. And it's an important question because people can say things, but you need actions. You need plans to do that. two things that come to mind. One thing I'm trying to just start, and I'm letting the cat out of the bag here a little bit because I haven't talked to some people about this, but I think we could have a regional airport in Northeast Arkansas, like Northwest Arkansas has. And that would be a great boon for our economy. I think we're growing at a rate to where we could support that. Now, we need anchor companies like Northwest has Walmart. We need companies like that could anchor that. But that's one thing that I plan to work toward and try to get people to help me, because I think that could be a big boom for us. There's other things that can help this community. We have a human development center here that a lot of people don't even know that. I have a son who has cerebral palsy, and he's actually in the HDC, and I've visited every HDC in Arkansas and some outside of the state. And I want to try to do what I can to improve those, as well as the waiver program where people go out into the community. But the human development centers, I would like to see them developed into a multi-level community where that people can be in contained environments, they can be in group homes, they can be in apartments, and even nursing homes. There's a big issue with people in these centers and on the waiver program when they get to be elderly and they have to go to a nursing home. It's very difficult to place them because of their limitations. And sometimes they have problems finding a nursing home that will actually take them. I believe we could develop a program where we have all these levels, including a nursing home, and we could plug these people in wherever they need that service. And I think Jonesboro could be the model for that.
Now, in order for these facilities to run and function properly, well, then of course you're going to need certified professional staff to run them. Do you have any ideas for incentives to encourage students that are in college or taking up medical professions to consider going this route, to working with individuals that have, whether it's physical, mental, some type of disability, that need that extra special care?
Well, we have a shortage of trained people in that field, as well as, I told you I was an engineer, engineer science. In that field, we have a great shortage there. So we need to promote that. But also these care jobs, speech therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy. Those are good jobs. They're well-paying jobs. They're difficult jobs. I know. I've seen them up close. And the people that do those jobs are committed. They're very committed to that work because they're hard jobs. But these are jobs that are very fulfilling as well. And I do believe that we need to promote that type of education. We need to promote education that prepares people for jobs that we have needs for. And in the past, I don't think colleges have always done that. They've given people degrees and then they could not find a job that matched that degree. Not in Arkansas, maybe somewhere else. So we need to match the education with the needs.
I know we've had conversations with the chancellor and other members of the university that work in the various departments, and I've been fortunate to meet individuals that work in the occupational therapy program and some others. So with that being said, I have seen information posted for years, if people go into the education field or say social work field, that their student loans could either be reduced, the repayment can be reduced, or there's extra incentives to go into certain fields. I don't know if this is handled by your office or the House of Representatives, but could the same apply to those in those medical fields or those engineering fields where there's a lack of individuals? Some type of incentive, whether it's extra income or help with their student loans or something.
That's an interesting thought. Speaking as an engineering student, came out of school at a time when really engineering was on a downswing at that point. But I think all college graduates face this problem because, especially nowadays with the loans that they accumulate, I think in every occupation, I think we should try to help all college students get out from under this mountain of debt that they have. But you make a good point. Where we have a shortage, you need incentives.
Yes.
I'm not sure, how we would do that. In teaching, I know a lot of the incentives are related to areas where maybe rural areas where there's shortage of teachers and they have trouble recruiting teachers into those areas. I think it's a great idea. I'm not sure how we would do it, but I'd definitely be interested in the conversation.
All right, so anyone out there that's listening, if you have ideas, who would someone contact, not just for, getting help with student loans or filing, presenting a proposal for incentives, but if someone has an issue within the state, like what's the first line of command, like first chain of command beyond your local mayor, or would you go to the governor first, or would you go to someone at the state capitol?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of routes that you could go. It's very effective if a person contacts their local representative or senator and talks to them. If it's a state issue, even if it's a federal issue, I've worked closely with Rick Crawford's office and Tom Cotton's office on federal issues, veterans issues that are actually federal. But they can come to us, and we can maybe get this ball rolling. If you're talking about policy or programs which may not require legislation, then the governor's office is a good place to go. And if they don't know, then they can direct you, to another agency.
Okay. All right. I do want to ask, if you are, I'm not going to say if you're elected, but we have to say if you're elected, if you're back in your position, what are some ways that you would like to increase community engagement for those who do not know you or who are not as familiar with you, and help them become more familiar with some of the practices of what your office is responsible for?
Again, that's a good question. and it's something that I want to do, and I will say that most people that I know in the House of Representatives want the same thing. That they want engagement with the people. It's I wouldn't say it's difficult. There's just not a good mechanism to do that. What I try to do, and I know my other fellow representatives, a lot of them try to do, is they try to go out in the community to, fairs and gatherings and nights out and those kind of things, where they can meet people and talk to them and talk about how they can get things going, get things done, and make their concerns known. Beyond that, it's just difficult. Programs like this are good. Newspaper, social media, where we can put out there things that we are working on or things that we want to work on, and maybe give our contact information. But it's a very difficult task to get people engaged, because we're a democratic republic, and it's run by the people, so we need to engage the people that are in charge. I've learned a long time ago that the higher you get, whether it's in government or business, the more people you work for. I work for 30,000 people that live in Craighead County. They're my bosses, and I'd like to get to know them better.
Okay. All right. You're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We're speaking with Representative Jack Ladyman from the Arkansas House of Representatives. And so elections are coming up. October 22nd starts early voting. November 6th is regular voting. And they've made some changes, and we'll get into those details a little bit later. I do want to ask Mr. Representative Ladyman, where can people go to find information about what bills are coming up, what's been proposed, what decisions have been made for the state of Arkansas?
We have a real good web page. You can just do Arkansas Legislature. Go to Google, search Arkansas Legislature, and our page will come up. And on that page, it has meetings, which is very important, because if there's something coming up in a committee meeting, then people can come to those committee meetings and actually speak at the meetings. And the way the bills work, they have to pass the committees before they go to the floor. So the real work is done in the committees. And that's where you need to have your input. But on that page, the bills that are in process will be listed.
Okay.
Bills that are in committee will be listed. It's just a lot of good information. Also, contact information for your representative and your senators on that page as well.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll just wrap up our segment and maybe give people some more contact information if they would like to reach out to you. And if you have any public engagement events, if they would like to meet you. So stay tuned, everyone. Thank you for listening. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these announcements.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. When is the right time to combine your finances in a relationship? Examples of financial intimacy include opening joint bank accounts, co-signing on an apartment lease, and sharing access to your credit cards. Engaging in financial intimacy prematurely can have major negative consequences for your financial health, including your credit. Here's what you need to consider. What do you really know about your love interest's financial habits? Don't go by assumptions or what you're told, but what you can learn by observation. Does your sweetheart abuse credit cards? Does he or she honor financial commitments? Does he or she contribute to a retirement account? Or are they counting on the lottery to fund their retirement? Once you combine your money, your finances will be affected by your honey's financial habits and vice versa. If you're not sure, especially after a year or more, or if your partner resists or resents your efforts to learn more about how they handle money, do not mix your finances. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Money Matters is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
Meineke of Jonesboro is now Starks Auto Service, a full-service auto repair and vehicle maintenance center, offering engine and transmission repair, brake service, tires, oil changes, and more, performed by ASE certified mechanics. Starks Auto Service, 2813 South Caraway Road in Jonesboro, 870-204-7112. Starks Auto Service, Jonesboro.com.
The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was established on January 1st, 1977, originally serving Blytheville, Arkansas, and now serving Jonesboro, Blytheville, Osceola, Marion, and West Memphis, Arkansas. Today, the chapter continues to make an impact by focusing on Alpha's national community outreach initiatives such as My Brother's Keeper, A Voteless People is a Hopeless People, Go to High School, Go to College, Project Alpha, Boy Scouts, and the March of Dimes. The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is committed to Alpha's mission of developing leaders, promoting brotherhood and academic excellence, while providing service and advocacy to the community. More information about the Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is available at MOL Alphas on Facebook or via email at molalphas@gmail.com.
The McDaniel Law Firm, 400 South Main Street in Jonesboro, is a firm believer in justice and equality for the minority community. The McDaniel Law Firm has fought for our rights for over 44 years. The McDaniel Law Firm offers legal help for wrongful death as well as trucking and automobile accidents. Bobby and Brett McDaniel are available for a free consultation at 870-336-4747 or at www.mcdaniellawyers.com.
Hello, I'm Officer Victoria Evans. I have always had a desire to help others in need and to be an example and role model to young women by encouraging them to never give up on their dreams. My dream was to become a police officer and to serve my community. In 2016, that dream became a reality, and it is the most rewarding experience of my life. Now I want to let you know about the same opportunity. The Jonesboro Police Department will conduct testing every month for patrol officers. Applications are available online at jonesboropolice.com or at the Police Department, 1001 South Caraway Work. The Jonesboro Police Department offers a competitive salary, health, and retirement benefits, top-of-the-line training, and most importantly, the chance to make a difference in the Jonesboro community. Join me in making Jonesboro a better place. The Jonesboro Police Department is an equal opportunity employer, and women and minorities are especially encouraged to apply. More information is available at 870-935-5657.
House of Details, located at 3217 Herb Street, Suite C, is a proud supporter of KLEK, offering detailing on any type of vehicle: waxing, clear coat protection, basic wash, hand wash, shampoo, interior cleaning, buffering, headlight restoration, pickup, delivery, and more. With a motto of, anything mean, we can clean. Details available via Quentin Bogard at 870-273-5187. House of Details on Facebook and houseofdetailsjonesboro.com.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
Welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Quabila Jones. My special guest for part 2 is Ms. Representative Jack Ladyman from the Arkansas House of Representatives. So, Mr. Ladyman, in this last segment, it's fairly short, so I just wanted to give you the opportunity to go over any of the other issues that we haven't covered. What are some things that the residents of Arkansas can look forward to concerning decisions being made, bills, proposals, legislation after the election, maybe?
Well, I think the next session is going to be very important for Arkansas and for the country as well, because the health cost of medical care is still a big issue. In Arkansas, we're trying to reduce our income tax so that we can be competitive with surrounding states. Tennessee and Texas have no income tax. When we try to get industry here, it's difficult. Our income tax rate is 6.4, I believe it is. So we're continuing to try to do that.
Okay.
But as we do that, we also have to maintain services as well. Again, economic development for me is a big deal, and that's something, because I believe you give a person a job, that's the best thing you can do for them. You can help them with their health, you can help them with other things, but if you give them a job, it takes care of some of these other things. So that's big on my list.
And I know that concerning, individuals working there's an issue on the ballot concerning minimum wage. I can't tell you how to vote on that issue, but I do encourage everyone to please go find information and read it. There are websites that give very detailed, broken down versions of what that issue says, so that you can vote the way that you feel best represents you. So please be aware of what's on the ballot, the various issues, and find some background information on them so that you're not just checking yes or no, and that may not be what you really want.
That is very important. Voters should look in detail, especially at amendments to the Constitution. They should study those so that they know all sides of an issue.
Yes,
very important.
Sir. All right. So, what are some other things outside of healthcare?
Well, I think we did a thing. I said I was on the health committee,
Mm-hmm.
and a few weeks ago we had meetings and we looked at rules that were on the books that really were not necessary.
Okay.
And we actually eliminated over 1,000 rules.
Over 1,000 rules?
Yes. In the health committee alone, we had 898 rules and 28 agencies that came before us that we had to review and vote up or down whether to eliminate that rule or keep it. And these were rules that were created 20, 30 years ago, or maybe they were created and they've been replaced, but they're still on the books. So our employees at the state, they still have to comply with these, even though they mean nothing. Like no spitting on the sidewalk. You've heard of that one years ago. Those things are still on the books. Whether you're enforcing them or not, they're still there. You have to abide by these laws. People have to keep up with these things.
Okay.
So we eliminated I think it was 15,000 pages of outdated rules. That's very important. We need to make government more efficient. That way we can provide money for the services that are needed, and we can also help the taxpayer and let them keep some money so that they can spend it the way they want to or donate it the way they want to.
Yes, sir. All right, well, in this last minute, I would like for you to please give your contact information if someone would like to reach you, and are there going to be any opportunities to meet you in person?
You can contact me at my email address,
Okay.
Which is just jackladyman@gmail.com.
Okay.
JACKLADYMAN@gmail.com. You can call me on 870-340-7499. I don't have any events scheduled in the near future.
Okay.
As I said, I'm on the budget committee, and we start budget meetings next week, and that'll go through November.
Okay.
So I'll be out in Little Rock quite a bit. But I will be trying to attend events, especially in my district, District 59.
Okay.
And other areas around Jonesboro. So if you're at an outing downtown or a fair or any event like that, why, look me up.
Okay.
I'll be there.
All right, so we look forward to seeing what happens in November, no matter who wins. We want to see Arkansas excel in every area possible. So, again, Kelly K cannot tell you who to vote for, but we do encourage everyone to please go out and vote. Early voting starts October 22nd. Regular voting is November 6th. Thank you all for tuning into Community Conversations. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants.